Oh, if anybody else has got anything else, if anybody has anything else they want to bring to the call, you mean?
Yeah. Hello,
Does it?
watching the recording. We've just hit record.
Oh, okay.
And
Hi.
Chez Elena is supporting facilitation today.
Oh, right, yes, and changing your name. Okay, so there we go. Yeah, well, one of the things we were going to do today is talk about the logistics for tomorrow's Zoom hookup for those of us who are outside the 25K zone for Annie's, I had the name of it. What's the name of it? Doorway to
Creation,
Thank you.
Nature Connection Walk.
Yeah. And I was curious to hear how people's weekends went with the full moon and the Halloween and the Beltane. And yeah, there's that, and the growing trading exchange experience, and yeah, I notice I'm texting people on their phone rather than using the app. I haven't gotten into the groove yet of using the Wix app, so yeah, that's kind of what I've got on my list. And anything for anyone else? Oh, and next week, what we'll do next week as well. Thought we could flag that as well.
Yeah, the only thing I'm wanting to add is that I've been doing this co-ops course, how to set up a co-op. And one of the suggestions last week was that rather than people who don't attend the meeting needing to watch the whole recording to find out what happened, that I'm now, the suggestion was type the key highlights and the key decisions or things that from the meeting under in the meeting notes, under the recording each week. And so I'm going to undertake to do that either myself or ask for support to have that happen each week so that we can honor that, because it just made immediately logical sense for people who are time poor and who might like to watch the whole recording but would just like to grab what was the highlights and what were the decisions. So committing to that, yes.
I was just thinking of adding to that if you put the time code in where each segment starts, then they can just fast forward to that.
Yeah, I may or may not, depending on the week. And how much time is available to go back, rewatch and mark, because we can't mark it as we're going. We can't, because there's no timer running at the minute to know.
Well, no, but if we took a note in future of the time that the recording starts,
yes,
and the time that we change topics, then that could be transposed to from 0 to whatever.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, so there is an option that we might also add that time tracking as well. Yeah, I like that. So that's the only other thing that's up for me is that. But maybe we start with the weekend. What do you think? Weekend stories and feedback and.
Yeah, I have a little celebration of the progress on from the Beltane little circle we had, and I mean there may be others who have something or nothing, but I because the sort of traditional intention is that it goes from sundown to sundown. I was still kind of in it yesterday, and yeah. And I'm seeing when you did that big nod, Barbara, I'm like, oh, maybe you didn't quite. Actually, that's one of my mornings, is that I didn't kind of say, this kind of energy space goes till sundown on Sunday. And so you can still play and with the energy and do whatever calls to you. And yeah, I wrote in my journal, just remembering kind of where I'd gone in myself, and I had a sense that I'd gone kind of deep and was grateful for that. And I wish I had my journal here to look at because I'm not remembering, but the important thing was I drew fire. I actually, in my journal, I just drew it with my pen, really, like not concerned about what it looked like or was it accurate representation. And I had my cat on my lap, and I really wanted to use pencils and colour it in, but he was half on my lap, so I waited. I made a date with myself for a bit later, and I got them. And I did that with real sense of movement as well, rather than, I don't know, there was just energy in it. And later and the other morning I had was that I didn't share the songs with you that I'd found about fire. And however, I did play them and I danced, and that was fabulous. It was Bruce Springsteen. Actually, it's Dancing in the Dark, but it's got lyrics about fire. Can't start a fire without a flame, and it was about writing, and the lyrics really resonated with me. And then the other one was Jose Feliciano, Come On Baby, Light My Fire. And when I listened to the lyrics, it was almost like this newly discovered kind of masculine energy part of me was singing to the other parts, like, come on, baby, light my fire. Like, I'm here. You just need to, fan it, which was what the other song was about too. So I feel like I'm blushing, but yeah, so that was, I would have liked to have shared that with you, even just in a message yesterday. Yeah. And because in the Jose Feliciano one, it's very sensuous, and like we talked about that too, the sensuous, the sexuality, energy of fire, and yeah, both of them actually. Bruce Springsteen, yeah, when his hip swiveling, I don't know. It was an extension of the adventure, and I was sad I hadn't shared it with you, and so that's why I wanted to share it today, because I can send you the links. I will send you the links, and you can. And the thing I love about listening to it in my headphones is this beautiful guitar work that Jose. Do you know Jose Feliciano? I told myself that you two were way too young to know, because he recorded it in 1968. So you might not even know him. He's a blind singer, a guitarist, and yeah, can hear the instruments so clearly, and that now reminds me. It's like I want to hear this can do, get stuff done. What I relate to as masculine energy in myself. I really want to hear that and give it space. So, and then there's this beautiful flute. I don't know. I'll stop now about that. And I wonder if there's anything alive for anybody else about your experience of the weekend and the full moon and whatever, Halloween, or even what I said. Don't want to spend too long on it, but just, yeah.
You just flashed me back to Labyrinth, which is one of my favourite movies, and I've got all these crazy creatures dancing in my head, singing fire.
Oh.
So if you have Labyrinth, it's awesome, but that there's this scene with all these creatures dancing, and
that sounds good. That sounds great, because Beltane is the time of year, the season, when the veil between us living mortals and the fairies and the nature spirits is the thinnest, whereas at Halloween in autumn, the veil is thinnest between us and those who've died. So I love that. And Labyrinth was a David Bowie movie. Oh God, I love it. One of my favourite songs to dance to is Let's Dance.
Yeah.
It's just, so I'm really into the dancing groove. Thanks, Jez. I shall have another look at that. Yeah. Barbara.
There we go. Found the unmute. Well, I didn't know that it continued on, but it's actually great to hear that, because I had quite a productive day in that kind of that fire energy of just making stuff happen. I cleared some stuff out of my garage to make it into some outdoor yoga space. So I want to just take you guys over there and show it to you, seeing as we're outside. How about that?
Well, you're outside.
I'm outside. That's true. And so this is my, oh, let's see. Flip it around. There we go. So there's the garage, and it's got this lovely sort of flip up kind of, opening so that you can come in, and I've got a yoga trestler that Nell made for me, and just lots of space. Whoops, I've got a low battery, might have died there. And lots of space, because I'm really hoping that however many people are allowed at the time, which might be just one at this point, but as going forward, people will come over and do some yoga with me in the outside. So,
ooh, that's lovely.
So consider yourselves all invited. And if you're coming from far away, I do have a spare room as well, so you could stay overnight, which would be even more exciting.
Yeah.
Anyway. That's what's alive and firing in me yesterday and today. So thanks, Chez. Let me see if I can figure out how to get back.
Oh, swivel your camera. I'm tickled pink to hear that. I love that. Because I forgot, I went to bed feeling calm and peaceful and woke up the same way. It was really, and for once I didn't have retrospective anxiety, so I was very pleased about that. And that's yeah. I've written a to-do list that's quite extensive, so I love that the fire energy, carried forward into your day, and that you've created that space. I want to book a session with you. I don't know if you do any kind of remedial type yoga, but I'd love to get some exercises that I can do with my body the way it is. So I could do it outside, and you could be in your outside space for the moment.
That would be awesome. So let us speak more about that. That would be great.
Yeah, because you holding that, one of the things we did on Saturday night was we actually, I don't even know how to put words to it. We each took a turn and we connected with, and then we just held that quality or that energy for each other for a time in silence. And Barbara did a yoga pose at one point, and it was just, it was very, what's that word? Emergent and wonderful. So, yeah. Okay. Karen, I'm going to mute so that I don't speak.
I've been so enjoying listening. It's been wonderful. The aliveness is bubbling in you with fire and passion and enjoyment of Saturday night, and it was thrilling. It actually was thrilling to be there, and I have a sense of appreciation for you for honouring Beltane, because I've not celebrated it before, and I've done the Halloween with the kids for many years, and now they're old enough that that's not a thing. Although Jet did do some dress ups, which was fun on Friday at school. But I just feel like we honoured the energy of what's real in our hemisphere, and that there is this emergent spring energy happening. And this morning I had a few towels out on the line, and I untangled a climber that's just started to really flourish, and gave it some places to hang onto the fence, so it starts to have its way with covering the fence. And I'm thrilled about those little things that are happening that I just see as real expressions of this moving into creative expression time. And I do feel like the I've done some research for myself about the project that the personal project I started to name around the martial arts. I did some digging about options for that. And I'm really curious if there's not someone connected into the community somewhere that is actually a martial artist who would be willing to trade some learning. So if anyone knows anyone or thinks there may be an option for me to be learning martial arts from someone who's connected to the community as a time trade, I'd be very grateful to hear that. Yeah. I wonder, was there a sense of holding a Beltane or a spring beginnings energy for you, Irene, or for you, Shez? Was there anything happening in your weekend that you just want to celebrate, or in terms of new energy?
No, you go.
I just feel like the last month or so has had an amazing energy and lots of shifting, actually. So I guess that relates to spring cleaning and just, I don't know, going back and revisiting things and bringing things back to life. So yeah.
Gorgeous. Thank you.
Well, on Sunday we had the Telerook market moved. About 3 years ago, the Telerook hall burnt down. The old hall, which was 100 years old or whatever, burnt down, and they've rebuilt over the last few years. But in the meantime, we've had the farmers market held in a different venue, not too far away, near the part of the railway, sort of back of the railway. And we went back to the new hall for the first time. So it was really, of course, the day was gorgeous, and it was a lively, good spirit kind of place, and it was really good. We had from a marketing point of view, we had the best day we've ever had at that market. So, yeah. The rest of it, it wasn't a participant in any kind of particular Saturday night celebrations. And we had our AGM for the environment group on Saturday, 2 till 4 or something like that. And that went really well, just a Zoom AGM. But that was, that was the extent of my weekend.
Thank you. I really love hearing about that energy in the hall and the sense of community and the bustling sort of flourishing too of the business, because having a great day at the markets for you and John and the business, that's wonderful as well. And so just like, yeah, have a sense of the energy around. I wonder if we could move to our next subject, which was actually getting a little bit more connected to the option for people to connect tomorrow. And my thinking is that it'll be an experiment, and those of you who are wanting to try to connect in, to just use this, we'll just use this Zoom number, this Zoom room, the normal Wise Women Rising one, and I will charge up my laptop and take it with me, because I think I'll be able to see the screen easier than trying to navigate it on my phone. So and that's fine. It's light, and I can pop it in a backpack and take it with me. So it's just whether or not what I might also do is plug in on my phone with some headphones, so that if we are moving around, I can set up the call on my laptop and then pop it in my bag, and then be connected in on my phone so I can hear everybody. So
I was just wondering whether, I mean, it depends how long it's going to be. Like it says 1:30 start, and I'm imagining that it won't be on the dot.
I can still connect in at 1:30. I can plan to be there
Yeah, I was thinking maybe once you've gotten settled and sorted and everybody's there, or when you're ready to do a process or something. Anyway, you can. I'm not even sure if I'm going to make it because I already have another commitment. So, which it starts at 1, but I might pop in after that's finished. Probably go till 2 or maybe 2:30. But and I was thinking I could maybe be on the phone outside so that I'm present to my own nature space and just hearing the whatever's going on. I think that would be easier for me than, and more freedom than trying to do screen. But anyway, that's my thought.
Yeah, I would definitely support that as a strategy for ease for others as well, and also for inclusion, because it's about being in nature. And I'm remembering what we did at the open space. So we put our laptops that were in the rooms, but we moved onto our phones and went outside.
And I was just thinking that if you have your laptop tethered to power and running video, it's going to chew up the power. Well, it does with mine. I don't know. Chew up the power, your battery really quickly. Whereas if everybody turns off their video and just bees on the phone, or even do telephone hookup the way we do sometimes, where we do a conference call, just adding people into a phone hookup. I guess that could be plan B if you run out of juice on your laptop.
Yeah.
So maybe having people's phone numbers would be helpful.
My thinking actually is that perhaps we do want to allow the first half an hour to arrive and settle in, and maybe the online stuff doesn't start till 2. So that gives me some time to arrive and work out where we're going to set up and sit down and what tree we're going to sit under and bring out my colours. And the other thing that I wanted to mention is that in the Arts Healing Hub at the minute, we had a session this week, just last week, on e-zines. Cora took us through a practice of making our own e-zine. And so one of my intentions for tomorrow is to draw and colour in my e-zine. And it's very easy to make one. It's just a matter of folding an A4 piece of paper in this direction and then folding it in the other direction. So your A4 page, now fold it this way. I'm seeing if I can do it now. And then once you've got it that way, once you make a little tent with it and you fold the tent flaps up to the top. So like that. And then this piece here in the middle that's got the line through it, cut straight down just to the join. I'll show you what it looks like. And this is just if you want to play with this idea and make an e-zine. Cora's got a project about walking the Wonder Walk, and that you can make a little e-zine telling a story of your adventures in your local, walking in your local area. And you can do all sorts of things, take images, photos, and put them on the little pages of this little booklet. And I started one. Oh, it's upside down. I started one the other day, and it's so cute. It's so cute. It's like your own little storybook, like when you were a kid. And it's so cute sized. It's very sweet. So I'm actually going to be drawing and colouring in my e-zine tomorrow.
Got it.
That's my plan. And there is also an invitation to just bring a journal and write whatever you would like, whatever's alive for you. And so it's writing, drawing, painting. So my invitation is consider what's most alive in you and set it up in your garden or set it up beforehand so that you've got your colours and your whatever you need to be in that nature connection and healing art type place. That's the invitation is very broad, just to do as you feel inclined, but to know that you've got company. So I will amend that on the event page so that the online portion of the companionship for the art or drawing or writing or whatever it is you would like to be doing will start at 2, and I will we'll those of us who are meeting up in person, I'm still planning to be there at 1:30. So to just give us some room to play together in a very sort of emergent way, like we're trying to use some sort of hybrid form of tech and in-person combo. So we'll just see how it goes. So it's an experiment. And so there was another topic. Can someone help me with the next topic? What was the next?
Oh, what we will do next week. Oh, well, there'll be some sharing from the ancient, modern, the what has been called the offers and needs market that we're attending on Saturday, that Samantha is facilitating. So, and then we're having ours on the 14th of November, Saturday afternoon, the 14th. So,
and just to remind everyone that we have tentatively named it the Generosity Circle, because there's all sorts of names flying around that would be called. Let's call ours Generosity Circle for now.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
And then we stand in that's what we're creating, because it's actually about, for me anyway, it's about the energy of generosity that so clearly comes alive in the giving and receiving, in that exchange process. And it's also very connected to my sense of the community well-being, that actually when I think about our community flourishing right now, it seems to me to live in the exchanges that we're making with each other, as well as the coming together in the meeting times and so on, but that it lives in the how we're supporting one another and how we're getting more courage to ask for our needs to be met and make offers. And so it's actually, it feels really connected to the well-being of this community, is the process of generosity, of giving and receiving and supporting one another. So I really love the name Generosity Circle, and it may not continue to fit, but as an experiment, I would love to just anchor that name and call it. So on the 14th of November, we're having a Generosity Circle in the afternoon. And it's not very long. I think we said 2 hours.
No, it's 1 till 4.
Oh, is it? Well, there you go. 3.
Yeah.
So I'm seriously looking forward to it. Like, I have serious face here. Seriously looking forward to it.
I'm sad that Irene's dropped out, because I was thinking about her retreat room that she's got at her place.
And Barbara's now.
I was thinking there's 2. That's what I wanted to celebrate, and I'm not sure that Irene can come, but somehow because they've got a market. But I'm excited about it too. And I guess it'll be a pilot for us, and we'll have more. And so, because part of me is like, I really want her to be there.
I think Irene's coming. Okay, we've texted, and she's also coming. We've also made a time during the week to set up a profile on her on Wiseman Rising, so that she can trade if she's inspired to, and make her offers.
Yeah.
So I'm thrilled about that, and we did say we were going to talk briefly about what we've proposed for next week. I just want to do that briefly, and then hear everyone's voices for our checkout. So next week, what we've considered, we've actually I asked Chez this morning in our considerations of like what were the live subjects and to bring to the meeting. One of the things that came up for me was that I'm keen to offer space for feedback on the business plan, the 1-page business plan that I put in the Facebook thread of the group last week, I think. And Kate Lawrence and Shares Elena and others have said that they would be willing to give feedback to that next week. So Kate's earmarked to attend next week to be able to offer her feedback on that.
Lawrence, yeah.
And my hope is that others who might be interested to take a look at that one-page business plan and come together and to have just sort of an open brainstorm and feedback session about that doc. That would be fantastic. So I'd love to see whoever's alive to attend. That would be wonderful. And it won't be a complex conversation, because we're also going to be holding care for the generosity circle on the following week, and any preps that we need to do for that as well. So yeah, that just wanting to name that and be good, and share my gratitude for the willingness of those who have offered already to just support the process of inquiry that I'm doing with the co-ops course, and may turn completely left of field from where it is right now, and that's perfectly fine. I think this part of the joy for me is like just drafting something so that we have something to spark the conversations. It's like that's the spark that starts the fire, is like something of what about this? What about this idea or these ideas? So I'd really look forward to hearing what comes up for people. So that's it. I think it's a checkout time. Barbara's batteries died.
And Irene dropped off.
And I'm not sure if Irene's internet connections just let her down.
Could be.
Can't see Irene, but her screen's still there. So I wonder if you can still hear us, Irene. Happy for you to unmute and be.
I can.
Yeah,
I didn't realise she was still there.
Yeah, lovely. So do you want to check out first, Irene?
Okay. What do I want to say? Well, it sounds like lots of things are happening, and there's a lot of excitement in the group. And what more could you want?
Thanks, Irene. I just love that reflection and your support, Irene. Thank you so much. Yes, maybe for you.
Yeah, I'll check out. I have some disappointment that thinking forward to next week and the 3 things that we want to cover, like some reporting on the, how it was on the 7th at the offerings and needs market event that we're going to. It's not even called that, but anyway, that's how I understand it. And then creating our own, and also the business plan thing. What I'm taking away from this call is I want to be more prepared to share my experience of the 7th, so that it's a bit more succinct. So when I remember how I was sharing at the beginning about my experience of Saturday night, I'm telling myself it was a bit long and rambly, and I would have liked to have prepared it a bit so that it was more succinct. So yeah, that's what's there for me. And yeah, lovely to be here with you. And over to you, Chez.
I'm just feeling like I just love the way you share your stories, and I don't think you ever need to be more succinct. They always make me smile and they're heartfelt, and I love it. So don't change a thing, please.
Well, that's encouraging. And Labyrinth. I'm going to check out Labyrinth and the fire, the creatures dancing in the fire. I'm going to write that down. Thank you there. Sorry, I've interrupted you, Chez.
Okay. I think one of the biggest learnings from the group is about, just trusting that flow and really allowing your heart to speak. So, yeah, it's nice.
Oh, thank you. Lovely.
Beautiful. Thank you, Chez. And thank you, Chez Elena. And I feel grateful. My energy's up. I'm also drinking for the first time something with all sorts of berries and what else? I put all sorts of things, a bit of honey, a bit of, yeah, like it's some sort of magic concoction in my most fabulous glass here. And I'm feeling like, oh, it's very spring. It's like really some sort of potent antioxidant cocktail. It seems to me like it's this sense of giving myself a chance for renewal as well as new life. It's like there's this sense of just keep up the replenishment that will help with this birthing or this sort of energy that's here. It's like good fuel, put the good fuel in so that I can be with what's emergent. That feels really clear to say as a part of my checkout. And Annie's messaging us on the messenger.
Yeah, I just read it. I was gonna, you can.
Bring water, bring a blanket to sit on. You want to, I can't see it, it's locked.
Oh, she said she didn't realise that the Zoom outside for people outside the 25Ks was for tomorrow. She said, if you need my input, I'm here, like now. Otherwise, I trust you'll find a way to connect. My phone coverage should be okay to connect to Zoom. And then if you're coming, bring water, blanket, mat, or your precious self in comfy clothes.
Yeah, beautiful. So, thank you, Annie.
We did it.
Yeah. Well, that's it. I think that's meeting closed. Grateful for everyone's contributions and looking forward to what's coming in the next couple of weeks. All very delightful. And I'm crossing fingers tomorrow at the park will be something similar to today. It's already just going to be a glorious day. So
yeah,
enjoy your beautiful days.
I just want to add something that I thought of when I was picturing you all, by the river or I don't know, in this park. I had the artist George Seurat, who did this painting of in the 1800s or something, all these people out on the green grass and under the trees and with their parasols and it was this kind of slowed down life thing that it was a much slower life then, and I had been dreaming of that, but more in the place where we've been, Karen, the Studley Park boathouse and, the green grass. We did it with Annie, but I was picturing just a few hours where people could come and go and hang out and read and write and share and have tea and so and Stephen Sondheim's a musical called Sunday in the Park with George, based around that painting and George Seurat's life. And so that's the picture I'm holding of this lovely afternoon in the park that I won't be at. I'm transporting myself.
Yes. Your energy's already there, and with your parasol.
I don't have one. I think I'd like to get one.
Me too. Sounds really fun. Let's do that. Let's have a dress ups at the park one day with parasols.
I do have a pale blue umbrella with white flowers on it at Sambuca's. That would do.
That would do.
You could always have that in the garden tomorrow.
I know. I was thinking I'll post a photo on the Facebook page or on Messenger. It's like, here I am, depending on if we're on Zoom or not. But yes.
Beautiful. Thank you. That just lights me up, that whole imagery and the painting and the sitting in the park and yeah.
Cool.
I'll attempt to take some photos too of us sitting at the park and be able to share.
Yeah. That'd be great.
I'll take some photos.
Yeah. You better bring a hat as well. 29 degrees is like, I would be taking a hat if I were you.
Getting up there? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. All right. Well, lots of love. Thanks so much for coming.
You too. Thank you.
Together. See you soon.
Mwah.
Bye.